everybody, I'm Cosmo in here. Welcome to my movie review, Cosmo Movie Within. This is my second one. If you hear that noise in the background of rocks, don't mind that. That's just my turtle Simba. I want to give a shout out to my camera woman, my daughter, Brooklyn. Follow my Instagram and Facebook. You'll be able to check out any of my previous reviews there. But more importantly, just hit subscribe, watch some videos, watch me talk about, maybe rant a little bit about my movies that I've just saw. And if you have any requests or have anything that you personally want me to do a movie review on that I haven't, just DM me and I'll check it out and I'll get you a movie review. Long ones will be on my Facebook. The short ones are on my Instagram, because Instagram you can only put so much, and YouTube will be for the videos, so I can get a little bit more in depth about these movie reviews. Just want to say that's my second movie that I've seen since COVID, like actual movie theaters. Before that, I haven't seen a movie in over a year. So it just felt good to go to the movies again, just to see a movie, whether good, bad, indifferent, whatever. It just felt good to see that. So I just want to say that. So now that's all out the way. Today we're doing The Wrath of Man. Ooh. Starring Jason Statham, directed by Guy Ritchie. You know, Guy Ritchie gets a lot of praise. He's had some good movies, but I'm starting to notice I'm not really feeling Guy Ritchie. A lot of his, like maybe the last 3 movies, I don't know, I might have missed some, but King Arthur, this one, a lot of his latest work, I'm not feeling. I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. Or is this okay? Like he's like this Guy Ritchie, but it's just like, it's cool. But that's how this movie was. To give you a synopsis of the movie, trailer scene, this is an action movie, hardcore action movie, but pretty much one of those guy's son gets killed by bank robbers, so he infiltrates. So Jason Statham, who plays H, infiltrates and starts working for like the Brinks Truck Company. So when it happens again, he's there and he can confront the people. And on the way of him being there, he starts going down the rabbit hole of noticing that this is a little bit bigger than them trying to take a bank, and it's a little deeper than him just trying to kill his son. So while trying to get revenge, he uncovers a secret plot. And then throughout the trailer, it's nothing but action scenes and shooting. It's like, okay, one of these revenge type movies. Okay, his son dies. He infiltrates the Brinks Truck Company to work from, so he can get a first-hand view and get a one-on-one with his the killers of his son, so he can enact revenge. Get revenge for his son. That sounds dope. Trailer looks dope. Tons of action, shoot 'em up. Cool. I like this. The way the movie starts off is this real dark, heavy music in the background. Boom. And like the whole movie, you're just like, your tension is like, oh my God, something's about to happen, something's about to happen, something's about to happen. Like that music is like real eerie, but real strong. It's just like, any moment, something's about to happen, something's about to happen, something. And you're like, oh. But that happens throughout the whole movie. And then you start to realize like, nothing's really happening. So, obviously his sons die. That's obviously in the trailer. But Jason Statham's character, it doesn't really get said, but it makes you feel like he might be like an ex-Navy SEAL or somebody in that realm that has skills like that. But it goes throughout the rabbit hole. You don't, like, is he a bank robber? Is he a mob boss? Is he, like, it's super confusing. Like, and I mean really confusing. And then throughout the whole movie, it's flashbacks, and my daughter brought this to my observation, and I'm noticing it too. Every single movie or TV show, this start to pay attention to everything you watch. Flashbacks, non-stop flashback. It's like it's a fad now. It's like everything you watch is flashbacks, and then the flashbacks get super confusing because it's like from present to past, and then they'll be, for example, they'll go back, they'll be present day. Go back 8 months. That scene ends. Go forward 3 months. Okay, so now am I 3 months from where I left off from the originally, or am I 3 months from where they just left off from this last scene? Would make me technically 2 months or 3 months under from the original. Fam, I'm not trying to do math and trying to do all that. Like get a little less complicated. Like, it's not that deep, but it's like in every single thing. And then everybody doesn't just do the normal flashbacks. They got to go all, crazy with it. And it's just like, and these flashback scenes were a little bit better than what I've seen recently, but it's still, they have scenes where they're like 5 months in the past, 5 months later, 3 months in the past, 3 months, 4 months later. So then you start really getting confused and like, okay, well, at what point is this going from? But anywho, so you're confused throughout the whole thing about, okay, so is he like a mob boss? Is he a gangster? Because he's not a good guy. Let's just throw the cat out the bag. He's not a good guy. He's actually a bad guy hunting other bad guys. So then the FBI gets involved because obviously he's taking down these people and is like, what's going on? And then I'm thinking in my head, like, he can't just be killing, like, mind you, this is like, he's killing these people, like, killing. Like, he can't just be going around killing people, and it was like, do the Brinks people really get robbed that much? And I'm like, you would think, like, it's just, and then they might go like 4 months down the line, 5 months down the line. It's still a lot of action in a year span that you're getting hit with you're getting hit by all these different people, literally 5 times in a year. I don't know the statistics, but that kind of seems like a lot. So whatever, like, I guess you just gotta take your mind out of that, because that just seemed a little bit far-fetched. And especially, I'm like, he's just gonna be killing these people. Like, eventually you would think like no. But anyway, the people who own this company, I'm saying Brinks Shop, it's not Brinks Shop, but it's a company like that, an armored vehicle company that uses them to transport money. They pretty much love it. Like, the boss doesn't love it, but the owner of it loves it because he's helping his, obviously he's not losing all this money. And prior to that, obviously his son was killed along with 2 armored people. His son ended up just catching a stray. No pun intended, but kind of pun intended, because he literally got killed because just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But not necessarily because his dad might have been in some things he shouldn't have been in. But regardless of the fact, and that's just the main movie. Like, you have the plot, that's pretty much the movie, what I told you in the beginning. But just going through the movie, and then he starts talking, then you see Andy Garcia. I love Andy Garcia. Then Andy Garcia has a scene where he's talking with these FBI agents, and it's like, okay, so is Andy Garcia a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Is he another FBI agent? And then the guy's talking to him like, we can only do but so much. Like, eventually we have to step in. And like, oh, if they known that we were letting this guy do these things, because it's kind of like Andy Garcia, who, I guess, but it doesn't really get explained. Even at the end of the movie, like, you kind of piece together what he is. But Andy Garcia, you don't really understand. But he pretty much gives Jason Statham the green light to pretty much do whatever you got to do to find your son, or find who killed your son. So without spoiling anything, you don't really know what Andy Garcia role plays in it. He's only in the movie a few times. And Jason Statham is pretty much a nut job, and he's doing all types of things to figure out while going undercover, but not really, because now it's like he's known as like the guy you don't mess with. He's known as like the guy who stops people from kills people who tries to rob the armored truck. So anywho, the movie is slow, real slow paced. You have this eerie music that it's intense and it makes you feel like something's crazy about to happen. The beginning of the movie is cool because it just explains, it builds the foundation of what you're about to watch, the whole son dying and all that. But after that, you're lost because you're like, what is Jason Statham? Like, who is that? What is he? Like, you're lost. Like, what is he? Is he mob? Is he this? Is he that? He's doing all these crazy things to try to figure out his son. So you're kind of confused. And then there are some action scenes, like shooting scenes, but it's more violent. Like I thought it was like one of those, you know, his Jason Statham movies, you know, fighting and all that. But this is where more violent. Like no, he's like killing people, like headshots. Like it's violent, 100% violent. Like he's off the deep end. So, but it doesn't really. It's just very slow paced. It's very slow paced, but then you constantly think something's about to happen. And by the end of it, I was just like, man, this is kind of boring. Like I'm a little let down. Like this is okay. Like when you start looking at your watch, you start like taking a click at your phone. That's how you know you're not interested. And I hardly ever do that. But when I'm seeing what time it is, or you know, start thinking about like what am I gonna do after the movies, or you know what's on TV later. Like when you start, oh, you know, I might play a game of Madden. You know, me and John are in the playoffs in our division. Oh, I just downloaded the MLB show. Oh yeah, my pictures. I need to get hit. You know, just all this crazy stuff. And it's like, all right, the movie's not entertaining. So, but get to the very end. And it's this crazy shooting scene, which I said they have a couple of shooting scenes throughout the thing, so that like it gives you a little something to, you know, move it along. And this end scene has this crazy shoot scene. If you ever saw The Town, and if you ever saw The Town in theaters, that last scene where they're having that gunfight in the garage between Ben Affleck and his boys, Ben Affleck Hawkeye and his boys with the FBI. And that intense, the guns just and you just see the bullets come in and you hear it in your heart. Like, woo! That type of fight scenes, firefight scenes, I love that. I love those type. And the end, it has an amazing firefight scene. It's long, it's drawn out, I love it. So that ending, literally, Scott Eastwood, he's the bad guy in the movie. So pretty much, which the whole movie happens, and literally the last 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, but toward the tail end of the movie, Scott Eastwood is thrown in there, and his whole player arc is in there. And it's like, well, we just had the whole movie of not him, and then so it was like, okay, like this is not really okay. So now we have a completely separate movie, damn near. The beginning of the movie, middle of the movie, and like the tail end of the movie, in thrust Scott Eastwood and him being off the rails and the bad guy. And there's a lot of guys in there. I forgot his name, but it's my guy from The Boys, the black guy from The Boys. He's in there. Scott Eastwood is in there. Andy Garcia, Jason Statham. So they got quite of established actors and big boy actors in it. So I feel like they did that to give it a little bit of credibility, because it's not your typical fight 'em Jason Statham type movie, but it's more substance, you want to say. But I still wasn't feeling it, because it just didn't make sense. It was kind of like, okay, but what is he? You're kind of wondering who is this dude? You're kind of wondering like, who is this character? Who's that character? What's the point of this? What's the point of that? And then you have that crazy firefight scene, so it's like, man, that kind of redeemed the movie. But I would never watch that movie a second time. Or if it was like on TV, I would watch that fight scene, the firefight scene, you know, with them going back and forth, and then turn it off. But me sit through the whole entire movie, no, I'm not doing it. So you have Scott Eastwood and his whole arc, and then that intertwines with Jason Statham. And then it's one of those type of movies where it's like, all this happened, like, oh my God, the twist at the end. How could you not have seen this? Okay, all right. I wasn't that excited, but they tried it. It was like, ooh, did you see that? I don't really care. Like, not that I didn't see it. I don't care. So I would temper expectations. My first movie review is about Those Who Wish Me Dead. That is a horrible, don't do this one. It's slow. Like, it's not terrible, but it's a slow movie. It doesn't really explain much, but you get a really cool firefight scene at the end, so that's cool. And you see Scott Eastwood in a different light because he's like a super bad guy in this. So it was cool to see him in a different element. Different, you know, he's not the cheesy good guy or, you know, like playing the good guy, but super, you know, this one he had way more depth. So see it at your own discretion, but just temper expectations, bring it down some, and know that, hey, just like regular in real life, you're gonna eat your substance, you're gonna eat your vegetables, you're gonna eat all the things, maybe the corn or the whatever that you might be feeling, and okay, you got your meat, you got all this, you got your substance, you got your protein, you got your, all right, I've ate my vegetables, okay, I wasn't really feeling this dinner, but it gave me a lot of nutrition, it gave me a lot of things that my body needs, but at the end, you get dessert. That's okay. So I ate and went through all that, and I got dessert at the end. So you'll get dessert at the end, at least that much. So let me know. Let me know if you see the movie. Let me know if you like my reviews. Let me know if you want me to review something else. Holla at me. Subscribe. I'll holla at y'all.